Relative calm prevailed over Kabul this morning, a day after chaos gripped the Afghan capital's international airport. In the Taliban's first news conference since they overran the country, spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid, who has never shown his face publicly until today, sat down with Afghan and international journalists. The messaging was clear. A second Taliban government would be a softer, more globally acceptable one. This was the friendly face of the movement. With an interpreter translating the spokesman's words into English, he announced a pardon for those they once called traitors.
We are assuring the safety of all those who have worked with the United States and allied forces, whether as interpreters or any other field that they have worked with them.
He promised the Taliban would respect women's rights under Islamic law.
Women will be afforded all their rights, whether it is in work or other activities, because women are a key part of society. And we are guaranteeing all their rights within the limits of Islam.
But when the Taliban last ruled, and in areas under their control over the last 20 years, women have had their rights severely restricted. They could not take most jobs or go to school. While the Taliban have pushed to consolidate their control here of the capital, today in a dramatic twist, we also heard from the former Vice President Amrullah Saleh releasing a statement via Twitter saying that he considers himself to now be the president of Afghanistan because the former president has stepped down and left the country, that he is still in Afghanistan and plans to oppose the Taliban rule.
I am standing for my country and the war is not over.
In January, Saleh told the NewsHour he'd rather die than submit to the Taliban. He and the son of famed militia leader Ahmad Shah Massoud are apparently trying to organize armed resistance in the Panjshir Valley, north of Kabul. In Washington, U.S. military officials say order at the airport has been restored, at least for the moment.
We are confident we have taken the right steps to resume safe and orderly operations at the airport.
At the White House this afternoon, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan again defended the president's withdrawal decision. He also said a deal was struck with the Taliban to ensure safe passage to the airport. But he expressed fear for the future of the country's women.
Truly, deeply, my heart goes out to Afghan women and girls in the country today under the Taliban. We've seen what they've done before. And that's a very hard thing for any of us to face. But this wasn't a choice just between saving those women and girls and not saving those women and girls. The alternative choice had its own set of human costs and consequences, as I said. And those human costs and consequences would have involved a substantial ramp-up of American participation in a civil war with more loss of life, more bloodshed.
Will the U.S. government commit to ensuring that any Americans that are currently on the ground in Afghanistan get out?
That's what we're doing right now. We have asked them all to come to the airport to get on flights and take them home. That's what we intend to do.
As the U.S. defends its withdrawal and tries to manage the disaster on the ground, reaction came in from allies and adversaries across the globe. In Brussels, NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg said evacuating personnel is the top priority right now. But like President Biden, he blamed the Afghan government for the rapid collapse of the country.
Why didn't the forces we trained and equipped and supported over so many years, why were they not able to stand up against the Taliban in the stronger and better way than they did?
China blamed the U.S. for the bedlam it says was caused by a hasty pullout of American military forces. In Greece, where many Afghan refugees currently live, the government has warned it cannot take in a new wave of migrants. Afghan refugees on the island of Lesbos today protested against the Taliban. Afghans who choose not to stay under Taliban rule now face the painful question of where to next.